Okay, we're on the final question on 2023 paper 1 for Edexcel, and it is a quotient rule question and linked in with numerical methods. Now, I think the hardest part on the whole paper is this 15a. So this is only worth 5 marks, but it is super tricky. So definite A-star material here. Let's have a look at what we've got. A curve y has the equation y equals f of x, where f of x is equal to 7x e to the x over the square root of e to the 3x minus 2, where x is greater than ln of the cube root of 2. In other words, the denominator is not going to be 0 because it would be undefined. Show that f dashed of x is equal to that, where a and b are constants to be found, 5 marks. Okay, so I found it quite helpful to, first of all, let's just deal with the numerator and the denominator separately. So for the numerator, we've got 7x e to the x, which is a product. So that's going to be differentiated using the product rule, okay? So if u is 7x, u dashed is going to be 7. And if v is e to the x, v dashed is also e to the x. So the product rule, I always remember it back to front. Remember, u dash v add u v dashed. So we're going to have u dashed is 7 and v is e to the x. U is 7x and v dashed is e to the x. So the derivative is 7 e to the x plus 7x e to the x. Okay, so that's our numerator dealt with. So we know what the derivative of the numerator is. Now let's look at our denominator. Our denominator is e to the 3x minus 2 to the half. So we're going to differentiate that using the chain rule. So we times by the power that's there, lower the power by 1, and then times by the derivative of the inner function. E to the 3x minus 2 differentiates into e to the 3x because the constant disappears. And then from the chain rule, we need to times by the derivative of the inner function, which is our 3. So we end up with 3 over 2 e to the 3x, e to the 3x minus 2 to the minus a half. So that is the derivative of our denominator. So now that we know those two pieces of information, we're ready to put those into the quotient rule. So the quotient rule is that we're given, remember the good news is we're given a version of the quotient rule in the formula booklet, which is super helpful. Although it's written in a slightly different format in the formula booklet, but nonetheless we are given it. So there's all the elements that we need now to sub in. Our u is the numerator, we've worked out our u dashed, we've got our v, which is the denominator, and we've got our v dashed. So it's now time to sub in, and this is where the algebra gets fun. And I think it's just easy to kind of like make a little slip, I think is the main thing here. So all I've done is subbed in to the old quotient rule. Okay, if I just kind of put the quotient rule there for us to see. Okay, there's our quotient rule. And all I've done here is just literally sub into that pattern, okay? So just make sure you can see it. There we go. Yeah, so I've got my u dashed, there it is, times by my v, there, minus my u, there, times by my v dashed, that's all my v dashed, over v squared. Now, here's a really important thing. I think this is one of the most helpful things when it comes to simplifying an expression like this. Notice that we've got an e to the minus a half there in the numerator. And we've got also a half there in the numerator. Now, a really good sort of piece of advice is when you've got a fraction in the numerator of a fraction, you can make everything simpler by multiplying the numerator and the denominator by the thing that's causing it to be a fraction. Okay. Now, what do I mean by a fraction? So that e to the minus a half, that's the same as 1 over e to the 3x, or let me write it where you can see it, e to the 3x minus 2 all to the half. So we've essentially got a fraction there in the numerator, okay? But if you multiply it, the numerator and the denominator by the thing that's like sort of causing it to be a fraction. So in this case, we're going to need to multiply the numerator and the denominator by 2 to get rid of that half. And we're going to multiply it by e to the 3x minus 2 to the half as well, which will get rid of this fraction that we've got in the numerator. So that's a handy little hint there. So when we do that, you can see it's already going to make our life a lot more straightforward, because this e to the 3x minus 2 to the half is now e to the 3x minus 2 to the 1, which is easier to deal with. And also this term has just vanished now because it's become 1. Because what's happened is we've got e to the 3x minus 2 to the minus a half times by e to the 3x minus 2 to the half, so it's become 1. And notice that our 3 over 2 is just now 3. So this is a lot nicer to deal with. In the denominator, let's talk about the denominator. E to the 3x minus 2 to the half squared is just e to the 3x minus 2 to the 1. But then we've timesed it by e to the 3x minus 2 to the half, and 1 add a half gives us 3 over 2. So therefore we've got 2 e to the 3x minus 2 to the 3 over 2. So there we go. So now we're in a good place now to start sorting this out. So what are we aiming for? We're aiming for, there's a common factor of 7e to the x that could come out of everything. So let's take out 7e to the x out of every single term. So when 7e to the x comes out of this, we're just going to be left with 2 times 1, so there'll be a 2 there. When 7e to the x comes out of this, we'll be left with that x and a 2, so 2x. Okay, you don't need to do anything out of this because this is all times together. You only need to take 7e to the x out of one of the brackets, so that's fine, that stays as it is. The 7e to the x comes out of this, leaving us just with the x, and the 3e to the 3x. So the x and the 3e to the 3x, because the 7 and e to the x has come out. Okay, so that's good. So far, so good. So now I'm going to expand this double bracket here and then see if I can't factorize out another e to the 3x out of some of the terms, because we're aiming for, in the question, we've got an e to the 3x there has been removed. So let's expand this double bracket now. So 2 times e to the 3x is going to give us 2e to the 3x. 2 times minus 2 is minus 4. 2e to the x times e to the 3x is 2e to the 3x. And then 2x times by minus 2 is minus 4x. And then this term is just carried on from before. So we're aiming for a version that has an e to the 3x taken out. So I'm going to factorize out now e to the 3x out of everything that's got an e to the 3x. So the e to the 3x can come out of that one, leaving me with just 2. Notice here that we've got 2 e to the 3x minus 3. Sorry, we've got 2x e to the 3x minus 3x e to the 3x. So 2 take away 3 is minus 1. So that's going to go to minus x e to the 3x. Okay, so 2x e to the 3x, take away 3x to the 3 e to the 3x is minus x e to the 3x. And then we factorized out the e to the 3x, so we've got 2 minus x, which is looking super encouraging. Then our final two terms are minus 4x and minus 4. So minus 4x and minus 4. And that is our numerator done. And our denominator is also done because it matches the form that we were after. So there we go. That is part A done. But I think it's, yeah, a lot of places there. I think it's just the algebraic manipulation that's really tricky. There's a lot of complicated things going on there. This idea I think is really important for making it simpler to deal with. But lots of places where it's easy to sort of like get lost in the factorization. So that's the hardest bit of the whole paper done, in my opinion. Let's see what's next. Part B, hence show that the x-coordinate of the turning point of the curves are solutions to that equation. Now, we've got our expression now here. This is our dy by dx, okay? So for the turning points, we're saying that dy by dx equals 0. Now, when dy by dx equals 0, that basically means that our numerator is going to equal 0. So we just need to consider the numerator of our expression equal to 0. And here I've written the numerator equal to 0, okay? So with our numerator, the 7e to the x, well, e to the x never equals 0. That's the first thing. So e to the x looks like this. It has an asymptote at 0, so it never equals 0. So we don't need to worry about any solution coming from there. So the only solutions are going to come from this bit. So we now need to rearrange this in order to make x a subject. So we're going to expand the bracket. So e to the 3x times 2 is 2e to the 3x. E to the 3x times minus x is minus x e to the 3x. minus 4x minus 4. So let's get everything with an x on one side and everything else on the other. So I'm going to move that over to the right, I'm going to move that over to the right, like so. Factorize out the x, and then divide by the expression, and that gives us what we were after. So that's quite a nice 2 marks there. The equation given there has 2 positive roots, alpha and beta, where beta is greater than alpha. A student uses the iteration formula given there in an attempt to find approximations for alpha and beta. Diagram 1 shows a plot of the curve and a part of the equation of the line y equals x. Using the diagram on page 42, draw a staircase diagram to show that the iteration formula with x equals 1 can be used to find an approximation for beta. So here's what they give you in the exam paper, and here's what you would be required to do. So a staircase diagram, we're just going to go up to hit the curve, right to hit the line, and keep on going like that. And if they see that drawn, you're going to get the mark there. There's only 2 diagrams there, just in case you make a mistake on one and you need to have another go. Okay, that's fine. So that's that one done. That was a nice 1 mark. The rest of this paper as well is super nice as well now. Use the iteration formula with x1 to find to 3 decimal places the value of x2. Now, when x1 equals 1, the x is 1, so x2 is just e to the 2e cubed minus 4 over e cubed add 1, and that is 1.5017756. So 1.502 to 3 decimal places. And then the second mark is find the value of beta. So this is the old, what I call spam equals approach. Okay. So spam being a word that's referenced to that Monty Python sketch where they keep on saying the word spam all the time. And that's, I think, where spam entered the computer science vernacular from Monty Python, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, so here's how we do it. So we basically put in our 1 and we press equals. Okay, so let's go there. So 1. So what we've done is we've programmed into the calculator x1 equals 1 there. So now we're going to press the fraction button, and we're going to do 2 times by e, so 2 times by e, and it's going to be to the power of 3 times answer. Okay, so 2 times by e to the 3 times answer, and then we're going to go minus 4, and that's going to go over e again, so we go e to the 3x, so 3 times by answer, and then we're going to go plus 4. Okay, so we've programmed into our calculator there the recursive iteration formula. Now each time we press equals, we're now going to be doing 1 loop of our recursive iteration formula. So we've got xn add 1 is equal to this function of xn, and every time you press equals, you're going 1 loop round. Okay, so we're starting off with x1. So when I press equals, I get the x2 there, which is the value that we just calculated manually a moment ago. So now what they're getting at, it says find the value of beta. So every time that we now press equals on our calculator, we're doing 1 loop of our recursive iteration. So equals, and you can see that what's happening is the answer is settling down towards a solution that is not going to change. Okay, and it settles down quite quickly actually. It's got to, you see, no matter how much I press equals, the answer is not changing, and that's just because it's beyond the computational power of the calculator to work out. So that is our value of beta, and it wants it to 3 decimal places, so it's going to be 1.968 to 3 decimal places. Okay, so that's that second part done. Now the very last part, the last 2 marks of the question, it says using a suitable interval and a suitable function that should be stated, show that alpha is equal to 0.432 correct to 3 decimal places. So what are they getting at here? So our staircase diagram has come from the line y equals x and the equation that we were given there, the y equation. And our 2 roots, alpha and beta, so there was our alpha down there, and there was our beta, they're solutions to the equation, this is equal to x. Okay, so in other words, the 2 lines are equal to each other, that gives us the solutions alpha and beta. So what we need to do is we need to define a function. So we're going to say let h of x equal the function take away the line. So you say that take away, you get the whole thing over to one side, because this alpha and beta are solutions to x is equal to 2e to the 3x minus 4 over e to the 3x add 4. Okay, so alpha and beta are solutions to that. So if you take x over to one side, then you've basically got that equation is equal to 0. Okay, so we're going to be looking for a change of sign in this function that I've called h of x. So when it says a function that should be stated, you're going to say that h of x equals that, take away that, because that's going to equal 0, and we're going to look for a change of sign. Now the next thing is they're talking about a quote-unquote suitable interval. A suitable interval is if alpha is correct to 3 decimal places, we need to consider the upper bound and the lower bound of alpha. Okay, our upper and lower bound. So our upper bound is going to be 0.4325. Our lower bound is 0.4315. So we evaluate our function at the upper and lower bound, and sure enough we get a change of sign. So the fact that we've got a change of sign in between the upper bound and the lower bound means that alpha is correct. Okay, means that there's a root rather in that range, at least one root. So we need to write down our standard results. We've got a change of sign, okay, and the curve is continuous in that interval, so therefore alpha is indeed equal to 0.432, because we've demonstrated that we've got a change of sign between the upper and lower bound. Perfect. Well, that is everything done. That completes this paper. I hope you found that helpful, and I'll see you in the next video.